What's going on, everybody? It is May 13th. It is a Wednesday. Hope you're doing all right. Things are starting to open up. Actually, went to a comic book shop yesterday. It was kind of nice. Kind of felt getting back to, some normalcy. Hopefully, we can get there soon enough. But got some information here. Got some information when it comes to Depp and heard some interesting stuff that's come out in just the past couple of days. We have that journalist going after fans. That was kind of strange. So you know that they're going to write a smear piece on Johnny's supporters that's coming soon. I would expect that probably within a couple of weeks. It's interesting how the mainstream media will jump up to want to protect her, I find that funny because nobody else is. We have another person, Salma Hayek, coming out in support of Johnny, and no one really comes out for Amber other than the shills. That's pretty much it. She's kind of there by herself. She's got her weirdo clique. They seem to support her, but as far as star power or anybody else, nobody seems to have her back. It's kind of telling. Like, you feel like you get to know these people as you go through a lot of the details with their cases and stuff. And she seems like a first class, you know what I'm going to say. It's kind of funny. And there's more of that coming out. So we have some documents that have come out thanks to the case in England. It's easy to forget there's two cases going on here because he's going after the son over in England because they tried to get him fired from his Fantastic Beasts role. And then, there's also the case over here in America where he's going after Amber Heard for pretty much ruining the past couple of years of his life. And we get information from both cases, which is kind of nice. So this is actually really interesting stuff. So Johnny's ex, Vanessa Paradis, has come out and said, look, I've never known he's always been a kind, attentive, and generous person. His other ex, Winona Ryder, can't wrap her head around why Amber would say these things. Depp is like 56 years old. I think he is 56 years old. Okay. So he would have been, late 40s, early 50s with Amber, right? I don't remember how exactly long their relationship was, or was it a few years ago or whatever. He's not going to just start, I'm going to start beating on women like late in my life. Okay. Usually, and I'm no like relationship analyst or like an expert on human behavior. But I believe usually there's signs of this kind of stuff. And at his age, there would be a track record, and there doesn't seem to be any. All of the people that come out say, this does not seem like him. And then, you look at all the claims with her, Miss Heard, and it seems like, obviously one person here is nasty and the other isn't. There's a mechanic and a personal assistant that they're talking to that have worked for Heard who back up the claims that she's crazy. Like they've got statements from all these people. And you look at this and the picture paints itself. That's why I can't wait for these trials to get rolling, because I just don't see any jury siding with her. The evidence is so large against her. It's almost hilarious at this point. Now there's big reports coming that she's fired from Aquaman. I don't know if that's true or not. No one's really confirmed anything. I'd like to know if it is true, to be honest. And then, he's probably, maybe, hopefully going to get his Pirates of the Caribbean shot back. The backlash to that stupid female reboot that they were talking about doing was very beautiful. I was happy to see that. Another reboot with an all-women cast. Oh, how stunning and brave. It's like, oh, we're going to do a reboot. What can we do that's different? Let's put all women in the cast. Oh. Brilliant. Very original and creative. So, I don't know. I think they're going to do 2 movies. They'll do that stupid reboot, which won't make any money. And then they'll do the proper sequel with Johnny Depp, and that'll make tons of money. See him flying around in the Black Pearl again. That'll be fun. we'll see if it happens. But anyway, let's go through this stuff here. So we got his ex-wife giving a statement over in London, and she had nothing but nice things to say. They're also trying to get Winona Ryder in there. She had nothing but nice things to say, and that's good. So Johnny Depp's ex-partner, Vanessa Paradis, has said he is a kind, attentive, generous, and non-violent person and father, according to documents in his claims. The Pirates of the Caribbean star is suing the Sun's newspaper publisher, News Group Newspapers. What a fantastic name, News Group Newspapers. Anyway, and its executive editor, Dan Wooten, over an April 2018 article which referred to the 56-year-old as a wife herder. The article related to statements made against Mr. Depp by his former wife, actress Amber Heard, which the actor strenuously denies. Lawyers for Mr. Depp are seeking to admit evidence from Miss Paradis, who has 2 children with the star, as part of the case against the publisher, which is due to be tried at the High Court in London in July. David Shearborn, representing Mr. Depp, said in court documents that his relationship with Miss Paradis ended in 2012, shortly before he and Miss Heard were together and when he is first alleged to have been hurting her. In a witness statement, Miss Paradis said, "I have known Johnny for more than 25 years. We've been partners 14, and we raised our 2 children together. Although all of these years I've known Johnny to be a kind, attentive, generous, and nonviolent person and father." She added, "He was never hurtful to me." I'm omitting 2 words here for algorithmic purposes, but you get the point. She come out, she's been saying, hey, he's a great guy. I don't understand the problems here, right? And I think that these are very beautiful statements because you get to see she was with him for a long time. And if nothing was going on for 25 years of knowing him, and they have kids. Some relationships aren't so kind when it comes to raising kids together. So this is a powerful statement. And then having Winona Ryder come in, which you're going to see in a second, that backs this up even more. So you have multiple people that have been with him saying, look, I don't get this. He was never like this. And then you have Amber Heard over here being the only one, but you have all these claims like her pooping on his bed and all this crazy stuff. You start to see a couple of things. She's a liar and she's crazy. And I really just can't see anybody siding with her. And I can't wait for that New York Times article to come out smearing all of his supporters. That's going to be really interesting to read. If you didn't see my last video, go watch it. That's what's going on. It's crazy. This reporter is calling people's families and stuff and doing all this weird stuff, trying to call their jobs and talk to them at their jobs. Like, literally putting people's livelihoods at risk. Like, you don't call people's jobs over this kind of nonsense. But that's what she's doing. That's okay. This is ethical behavior from a journalist. Okay, this is why people don't like the media anymore. It's just stuff like this. But anyway, here's even more evidence that Heard isn't being truthful. So this is coming from Winona Ryder. At a hearing conducted remotely over Skype on Wednesday, Mr. Depp's lawyers also said they wish to adduce evidence from actress Winona Ryder, who was in a relationship with the star in the 90s. In her statement, Ms. Ryder said, "I cannot wrap my head around Ms. Heard's accusations. He was never, ever, ever violent towards me. He was never abusive towards me at all." Mr. Depp's lawyers also wish to call evidence from a former personal assistant to Ms. Heard and a mechanic who worked for the couple before their acrimonious divorce. And that's pretty much it. The rest is just kind of a recap on everything that's been going on. Now, the mechanic is an interesting story, too, where she's screaming at him, saying, "Johnny, don't pay my bills. You work for me," and all this crazy stuff. Like, she's got a temper problem. That's one thing that I've noticed through all this, because there's been multiple people that have said that now, and you've got multiple people, in fact, 100 or so people that had nothing but kind things to say about him. The best thing that I've read for this entire case was Amber Heard hiring a lawyer, or not a lawyer, a private investigator to look into his past, go talk to like over 100 people. And he said, I couldn't find anything. So he gave all of the stuff. He gave everybody's statements to the Daily Mail. And there wasn't one bad thing about him in there. But what have we heard when it comes to her? Nothing but nasty things. Her being nasty to people, treating people like trash, and all kinds of stuff. You know, stories about Johnny was him going to the children's hospitals as Jack Sparrow and doing all these kind things. So I think it's interesting watching everything swing away from her and back to Johnny. And this is going to be a fun case to follow because she's just getting wrecked. And I really do wonder about those Aquaman reports. I mean, you've almost got that one petition up to 500,000. Now it's like 440,000 almost, if it hasn't hit it already. Like, it's going to hit 500,000 signatures. Think about that. That's crazy. 500,000 people want her removed from Aquaman 2. And Johnny's got one too for him to come back. His is almost to 200,000. I wish there were more people supporting that one, to be honest, because I'd like to see him get his job back because he really does love that role. So anyway, that's pretty much it, guys. I think that this paints an interesting picture that all of his exes are coming out to support him. I think that really says something, especially Winona Ryder. Now, you could make the case with Vanessa. It's like, okay, they have a good relationship, and this is for the kids. What does Winona Ryder get out of this? She was with him in the 90s. You know, she has no kids or anything with him. There's no attachments there. She's just doing this because she's like, what the hell is your problem, Amber? Anyway, that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Give me your thoughts. What do you guys think about all this? I'd like to hear what you have to say. Also, if you would, throw a like up, share the video. Make sure you still subscribe. Subscribe if you're new. Hit that notification bell, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace. Also, if you want to help support the channel, check out my Teespring store. There's a link in the description. You can find some merchandise in there that you might want to check out. Also, take a moment. Make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. There's something going on right now, and they've been unsubscribing people. So just take a second and double check on that and subscribe if you're new.